Chapter 221. The scene shifts to an ancient world in the distant past. The once lush green forest has withered, and the space is eerily quiet. The ground is parched. Could this be a piece of hell? A hoarse voice echoes. Why is it so desolate? Why have all the animals perished? Ah, there lies a dog and a bird, both seemingly dead from drought. The voice continues, growing more anxious. Why isn't anyone around? This empty street feels desolate. Everything is bleak. Suddenly, a hurried voice exclaims, I'm so lonely, so lonely. Then, strange tentacles resembling octopus arms start wriggling and moving as if flying. Does this wanderer seek humans? They continue running from one place to another, finding only desolation everywhere. As the rain begins to fall, the wanderer huddles under a tree hollow, yearning for someone to talk to. At the end of a rainy night, the sun returned. He arrived in a lush green forest and parted the leaves to reveal a small, beautiful village. Finally, he found traces of human existence. Perhaps he was similar to Zuizu, having been reincarnated as a human. The excitement made him emit a dark red glow that he couldn't contain. His eyes shifted, and he saw two men working in the fields. In his heart, he marveled, how fascinating! But when the two men noticed him, fear washed over their faces. Their skin turned pale, and they trembled. He chuckled, excellent, excellent. It turned out that he, with a body akin to the Dark King, began chasing after the men with countless tentacles, voraciously hungry. As he pursued them, he cried out, kind sir, good sir, I'm famished. Behold, he had devoured hundreds of people, their lifeless forms now protruding from his body. He roared fiercely, his cry echoing like a wild boar pierced by a spear. The Dark King wielded his memories from thousands of years past, revealing the origin of his rage. His mouth stretched wide, hunger gnawing at him as if death itself approached. The divine tree, ensnared by the Dark King, emitted the sound of snapping branches, but in that fleeting moment, the tree retaliated, tearing apart the very essence of the Dark King's memories. The Dark King's eyes welled with acid, sulfuric and malevolent, spewing forth from the roots of those memories. The dense, viscous liquid bore a hue akin to a festering wound. The acidic onslaught surged toward the divine tree, a single tree standing defenseless against this deadly corrosive force. And yet, this acid was further empowered by mystical energy. The divine tree remained calm, its gaze as serene as still water. With a swift motion, it conjured a brilliant azure ice, crystallizing at an astonishing speed, forming a towering wall meters high. The acid met its icy demise, transforming into frozen shards. The Dark King looked on in dismay, surprised that his acid had frozen so swiftly. He knew the divine tree possessed formidable magic, but reaching this level was truly unparalleled. Now, in this critical moment, he needed to carefully consider his tactics. However, the divine tree allowed no respite for its adversary. In the next second, a ferocious mouth, a grotesque fusion of plant roots, roared. This was the manifestation of the tree's unique ability, the creation of a mutated wolf. The wolf bore the essence of its species and the formidable power of the divine tree. Its golden-brown fur shimmered, and it howled with primal fury. This species possessed astonishing speed, and in an instant, it materialized behind the Dark King. Its eyes gleamed like sharpened blades as it lunged, delivering a powerful blow to the king's head. Then, with a swift motion, it tore away a chunk of flesh, causing dark blood to spurt forth. The heat of battle surged, but the wolf-like creatures, the transformed tentacles, reacted swiftly. They lunged at the wolf, attempting to break free from their encirclement. The sound of snapping jaws echoed, but wait, why did their impact resonate like striking stone? Ah, the divine tree had ingeniously transformed the wolf into a demonic turtle. With an impenetrable shell and razor-sharp claws, the turtle sliced the tentacles in half. Meanwhile, the Dark King concentrated energy within his mouth, forming a pale pink sphere of power. Determined to resolve this intricate situation, he unleashed the attack. The sturdy yet sluggish demonic turtle was completely overwhelmed by this ferocious strike. The blow carried the Dark King's rage and fury, piercing through hundreds of layers of earth below, causing the entire landmass to tremble repeatedly. Above, the hovering bees and wild boars were caught off guard. It turned out that the divine tree had hurled the Dark King into a cavern rather than a subterranean void. Now, that cavern quaked ominously, as if threatening to collapse at any moment. Suddenly, the voice of the divine tree echoed within the turtle. "It seems you've mastered your new form." Surprisingly, the divine tree remained unfazed by such a powerful blow, knowing that its adversary was praising its adaptability. The Dark King, too, offered a compliment. "I never expected a human to move so swiftly and gracefully within that tree." The divine tree's tone shifted sternly as it boasted, "After all, I've been here for 5 years." Now, transformed into a massive bear with 2 upward curving fangs, the divine tree exuded an imposing presence. After listening, the Dark King felt that he was looked down upon because he had not settled here as long as the divine tree. Angrily, he retorted, "Just 5 short years. Don't get too proud." The tentacles surged, their voices intertwining like 1,000 eerie whispers. "Damn it. Meanwhile, I've been trapped in the abyss for an entire millennium." The brawny tentacles writhed and squirmed, their muscular forms undulating. Suddenly, behind the Dark King, a large, menacing mouth materialized. His entire body convulsed, as if he were about to roll over and wallow in self-pity. Was the Dark King envious of the divine tree? Perhaps he, too, had undergone reincarnation? The divine tree, now mobilizing its branches, emitted fierce sounds that pierced the ground. It shifted continuously, assuming a defensive posture to brace for the impending attack. Meanwhile, the core of the divine tree, the very essence of its being, calmly declared, "So be it, today." Simultaneously, a colossal mouth sprouted behind the divine tree, gaping wide with an inner glow of golden energy. Astonishingly, the tree swallowed itself, merging into a faintly glowing cluster of light. Its roots trembled, lifting from the earth. The divine tree transformed entirely, adopting an upgraded humanoid wolf form, a combat shape optimized for close-quarters battle. Gone was its cascading foliage. Now it stood bareheaded, its bark-like roots veining its back. Strengthened arms and 3 central energy hubs, the head, chest, and lower abdomen, radiated light. These enhancements surpassed its initial form, supplemented by auxiliary energy centers within its muscles, ensuring immediate and sustained power during combat. The divine tree proclaimed, "Today, you shall remain in the abyss for another millennium." Outside, the battle rages on between Australia's Black Dragon and the 4 masters of Misty Mountain. The white monkey's arm has been blown away by the dragon, and the black dragon's icy tail coils around the monkey's neck, leaving no escape. Then, with a thunderous force, the dragon slams the monkey to the ground, a strike akin to divine retribution. It turns out that the 4 Misty Mountain experts have been defeated. The dragon's ferocity in combat is unmatched. Amidst the smoke, a pair of glowing eyes, belonging not to the white monkey but to a demon spider, focuses on a venomous bite. Despite its own injuries, the spider hopes to strike a lethal blow, knowing that if it succeeds, its teammates might survive. But the dragon is vigilant. With a swift motion of its left hand, it pierces the spider, rendering its efforts futile. The colossal spider crashes to the ground, blood spurting relentlessly. Immobilized, the monkey and its young Misty Mountain allies realize their helplessness. They are mere breaths away from defeat. Even the second-generation elite of Misty Mountain falls short. The dragon opens its massive mouth, channeling energy for one final strike. Is this dragon about to unleash lightning? A colossal sphere of azure energy hurtles toward the 4 struggling Misty Mountain masters, accompanied by thunderous reverberations. In an instant, the mountain crevice is engulfed in electric currents, obliterating everything in its path. The end is near. Chapter 221 concludes.